Now let's see the topic of averages. So average of n values is equal to sum of all the n values divided by number of elements. So in this case, since we assume that the number is n, you can say that sum of elements divided by n. Okay. Now for example, if you take numbers like this, let us say I have 20 and then 60, 10, 40, 30 and 80. So how many are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If I add them all up, what is average is add them all up and divide by number. So 20 plus 60 plus 10 plus 40 plus 30 plus 80, it is going to be 240. Now average is nothing but divide them with the number of elements. So how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6. It is going to be 40. Right? Now one thing is, we got the average as 40 and the number of items is 6. Given these two numbers, we can find out the sum of elements as well. So which means sum of elements, the average equal to sum of elements divided by number of elements. Similarly, sum of elements equal to average into number of elements. So sometimes we are going to use that formula as well. So what is the other one? Sum of elements equal to average into number of elements. Right? Okay. And now one more property is, if you have collection of elements, like here you have collection of elements, and let us assume that they are all of different values. So in this case, all are of different values. The minimum value is 10 and maximum value is 80 and the average is 40. Always the relationship between these three numbers is minimum value is less than or equal to average value is less than or equal to max. Now if all the values are equal, then minimum value will be equal to average will be equal to maximum. That is why we are going to have equal symbol here. Got it? Okay. Now average of equal valued, average of equal valued elements is equal to the element value. Now assume that if all the elements, 6 elements are like 10, 10, 10. Let us say 3 elements I have which are all 10, 10, 10. Then what is the average of it? 10 plus 10 plus 10 divided by 3. See, one common mistake you do is, whenever a question about average is asked, you add it and divide it by 2. So that is not the average. You have to divide it with the number of elements. That is the only thing you should be careful about. Now other way of looking at the average is, average of n elements can be defined as the equal distribution of the sum of n values over all the values. So if you want to see this average in some other way, it is like some values are having higher values and some are having lower values, right? So if you look at this representation, let us say I want to represent all the values using a bar graph. So some values are higher and some values are lower, right? And some values are lower like this, right? Some values are high and some values are really low. Now it is nothing but take out the higher part from the higher values and try to distribute it over all the values like this. You take this part, put it here. You cut this part, put it here. Right? That is how you can understand the averages. See this? Average of n values can be defined as equal distribution of the sum of n values over all the values. So you take all the values and you try to distribute them equally. Right? So in this example, if you try to understand how did we get 40 is, see this. Now here I have only 20. Okay. So from this I can pull out 20 and I can give it to this. Then what does it become? It will be 40 and it will be plus 20, which means it will also become 40. Got it? And similarly, here I have 80, so I can pull out 30 from it, making it 50, and I can give that 30 to this, making it 40. Right? Now here it is only 30, so I can pull out 10 from it, making it 40, and I can give it to this, making it 40. So it is nothing but distributing the sum in such a way that everyone is going to get equal distribution. That is what. So equal distribution is what is average. Okay.